They can expect a full, realistic experience coming to the airport from however their transportation is to get there. Some families drive and park, some take trains, cabs, however they would normally get to the airport. They come in, they go through the whole waiting process to get a ticket. They get their boarding cards, they go through a fully staffed checkpoint of security. They then wait in the gate area for their boarding. They board an aircraft, sit down, practice seatbelts. The flight attendants will do the announcements. They can then explore the plane, so kids can check out the cockpit, the bathrooms, talk to flight attendants, see what might trip them up on a real event.
The TSA part is really difficult for a lot of families, so we want them to know that we have training that was offered by the Child Service Center to TSA agents and to the airport community in how to deal with families who are on the autism spectrum. We are aware, to help you navigate the process.
I think there's a sigh of relief for families that come for the first time, and they see that all these children and families are in the same boat that they are, so there's nothing to be concerned about. They should be very comfortable coming. And the goal is to come to see if the flying as a family unit can happen.
Questions about the safety features of this aircraft? Please don't hesitate to ask. Seatbelt sign is off, and have your seatbelt visible to the crew at all times.
It all started with Henry Littlejohn.
In 2010, we had planned a vacation to Disney World. Henry has an older brother, and my husband and I were all going to go. And when we got on the airplane, Henry had some trouble, kind of in a panic attack. And so it ended up that it was so bad that we had to get off the plane. So Henry and I got off the plane, and my husband and my other son went on to Disney World. And so that was really hard for our family. And so we just wondered, I wish there was a way we could practice, and we wondered if there was any way that would be possible. So then I reached out to Jennifer Ryan at Charles River Center.
One of our staff, Jennifer Ryan, took it upon herself to help solve this problem with the family. And this is one of the things that we like to do with our families, is partner with them to find creative solutions for the problem they're having.
I wrote a letter to Massport, who responded immediately, and we started the planning. In 2011, we had our first Wings for Autism event at Boston Logan. It took about 6 months. There's a bunch of meetings with us, with the Charles River Center and Massport, who then brought in reps from TSA, various airlines. We all kind of had to figure out logistically how it was going to work, and Massport kind of pulled everybody in.
Well, we have a great relationship here at Logan with the TSA and the airlines, and the TSA was an easy sell because of our great relationships that we have here. Now, when it came to the airlines, JetBlue was the first one to step up to the plate, and they did the first Wings for Autism with us. We focused on one airline just to get the ball rolling, and they offered, I believe, 2 aircraft, which was a big step to get 2 aircraft out of the loop of flying and on the ground and staying with us on that Saturday morning.
So Child Service Center took it upon themselves to recruit and register the families, because they have all the data for that. And then we're the ones that are hosting it. We pretty much decided that it was going to be like a typical day of travel for a passenger at the airport. And so we'd come up with a dry run rehearsal.
My name's Martin, one of your captains today, and working along with Captain Mike Babylon here behind me, and the rest of our fabulously talented and flight crew members are going to do our best to give you the greatest experience we can.
We had about 250 people the first event, which was, we had about 250 on a wait list. We had a lot more interest than we had expected. And so we continue to see that same popularity now.
So after the first Logan event, Bradley Airport in Connecticut reached out and they wanted to hold the event. They had seen the publicity about this event, and we're very excited to have it brought to their airport.
Airport Council International and AAAE, which are aviation organizations that help with airports and airline executives. And myself and Jen went to our first conference, and we did a whole presentation, and we had so much great feedback on what Wings for Autism was and how we ran it and how we operated it. And then I went to 3 different conferences in 2 years after that and kept promoting it. and asked to speak about it, and now it's grown like crazy with the help of ARC.
In 2014, Wings went national through the National ARC of the United States. And so far they have held 80 events in 38 different airports across the country. They've served over 10,000 people through those events.
So it's a free event. There's no strings attached for bringing your child. If you bring them and they don't even, we've had parents, they don't even make it to the ticket counter. They have a meltdown in the parking lot. It's fine. You know, we don't hold anyone accountable for anything, and it doesn't cost parents anything to bring them. So this is their chance to really try it with no strings attached.
It's just a practice day. It's just to see if you can do this, and your family can do this, and your child that's on the spectrum can do this. And if they can't, it's okay. If they get here and they find out it's not going to be able to take place at that Wings for Autism event. We have 2 a year. They can keep coming. We've had families that come back 3 and 4 times till their children are very comfortable with coming.
When it comes to people with autism, they're affected by their environment in many ways. And the more that they're able to practice and rehearse and get one step further than the previous time, that's so beneficial to them. We've seen many people that struggle with that, and over the course of the many years that we've been doing this, we have seen measured progress from some of the families, including the very first family.
Oh, it took probably about 6 different practices, I think. And then finally, he was able to get on a plane. And we took a little trip to Virginia just as a trial run, and it worked. And from that point on, he's been able to travel. He loves to travel. This has turned out to be one of his favorite things to do. It's a wonderful event put on by wonderful people, and I can't thank Logan Airport, Massport, TSA, Charles River Center, everybody involved. So thank you to everybody. But I want to tell other parents that it's something that for some kids it works on the first try, but for kids like Henry, it took a bunch of tries, and it wasn't always easy. But it really is a great program, and it can work. And it can open up new doors for families.
It started and we thought maybe there was a few families that might want to do this. We didn't realize how much of an issue it is for every family, not just kids with autism, but with related disabilities too, other developmental disabilities. And so I want the public to know that these kids, it is difficult for them. They're not being misbehaved. They're having a hard time adjusting to the new environment. And this event is what we've created to try to help ease that for parents.
It's a great resource for families who are struggling just to have their family go on a trip. Although nationally we've helped over 10,000 people, I'm sure there's many more people around the country that don't know about this event, and the more we get the word out, the better. I would also say to people that if you're struggling, come to Wings, give us a call at the Charles River Center, look at our website and see when the next event is. It's a very informal yet well-rehearsed event that helps people with autism practice in a very real way.
This Wings for Autism program has not only taught, like me personally, how to better deal with families who are on the autism spectrum, but the airport community as a whole. Because we all kind of understand it now, how it is when a child comes up to you and they can't communicate well for you, and then they might run and take off. And you know, we really didn't know what to expect from that. Sometimes we thought it was a troublesome child or somebody who was running away from whatever reason and didn't know, but now we know.
If you see a child struggling when you're traveling in general, it's not necessarily the kid. It's, you know, sometimes they have something, some type of limitation that's causing them to do that.
I went to one event and there was a pilot just sitting and watching the event. He wasn't working, he had come off a shift, and he sat down and he watched the event, and he watched the families and the children go through, and I saw him sitting there, and I went over and talked to him, and he said, I'm so amazed at this event. It's very well run, and it's such a valuable resource to our families, and it's only because of the collaboration. Massport, TSA, and the airlines were more than willing to partner with us and the families in the Wings program, which is amazing.